When I was 8 years old, I was diagnosed with asthma. And then when I got a little bit older, I started having a ton of hormonal migraines as I was getting my period, and it was totally messed up too. And then in my 20s, I started having major digestive issues and was diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome. So I was dealing with asthma, sinus issues, and digestion issues for decades, and was really looking into trying anything that would help because I was on antibiotics like probably 5 times a year and was always sick, I felt like. And so I started to change my diet. I was like taking gluten out and dairy out and soy out and eggs out, and it like was somewhat helping, but I was still having these horrible sinus issues. And I ended up with pneumonia after I gave birth to my first child, and she was a toddler and going to daycare every day because I worked a full-time job at IBM. And I was super sick. I was in the hospital with pneumonia for 5 days, and the recovery for someone with asthma from pneumonia is pretty lengthy. And I remember going to a follow-up appointment with the chief pulmonologist from the hospital who oversaw my care, and him saying, look, you really need to pull your daughter out of daycare because she's bringing all of these things home to you and your immune system just can't handle it. So you're gonna need to pull her out of daycare and quit your job. And I swear, I looked at him and I just thought, I've been on all these medications and doing all these things for years, and none of it has been helping. Like, what is the reason why my immune system can't handle all of this? And I started to look underneath all of those layers and really understand that I was only getting help for my symptoms, but I wasn't going after the root cause. And that's when I really started to get interested in nutrition and health and wellness, and thinking about how I could boost my immune system and really feed my body well and support it. And that is when everything changed for me. And I would like to share that with you because I feel like if we had all of the natural solutions we needed to protect ourselves and our family, like, wouldn't we want that? I really am a firm believer in getting to the root cause of the issue and really focusing on understanding what caused the problem to begin with, because we all got into this, you know, this situation, and we can all get out of it. And I want to protect my kids from the same situation. I now have another child, a son, and I eat totally differently and follow a very nutrient-dense, nourishing diet, which I can share more about. Today's focus, though, is something that happened about a couple of years ago, about 6 years ago, and it really was looking and understanding toxins. So I was like taking things out like gluten and dairy and whatever, but what I wasn't paying attention to and what I learned about 6 to 8 years ago was that it's the toxins in our food and in what we're putting on our body and in our body that are causing so many issues. Our bodies really are handling two things. They're handling toxins, whether that come from pesticides or chemicals in products that we're using on our body or things that we're eating, whatever. And then also just toxic emotions and stress and not getting sleep. So we're constantly dealing with these issues and constantly trying to assimilate the nutrients that we're getting from whatever we're eating. And so our body is just trying to handle those two things at once, and we need to support it, right? We need to help it get rid of the toxins. We need to avoid the toxins. And so what I'm going to teach you today and what you're going to hear from, and you're going to really want to listen to each video, and they're all going to be in here later for you to listen to again. And then we're also going to give you a YouTube playlist of all the videos that you can watch again more easily, not on WhatsApp, or share with someone who you think needs this information. You're going to hear videos not just from me. So my husband is South African. I am Lindsay Gramont, aka The Homemade Mommy. My blog is homemademommy.net, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Many of you found me from there, and many of you also came in here referred by somebody else. And I want you to think of that person and remember that person, and know that you need to reach back out to them after you hear everything today. And if that's me, then reach back out to me if you want to really go deep in and really dive into these natural solutions, okay? But you're gonna hear from more people than just me today. You're gonna hear from a lot of people who are in South Africa and hear their stories as well, because I wanna make sure that you hear from more than just me. And you know that this is something that is in your country, that we are growing there, that we are bringing this wellness to South Africa, and that it's very unique and very special. And I want you to hear from people there about all of this. So what you're gonna hear about is how we solve things naturally, really, and how we get to the root of the problem. So you're gonna understand after listening today what kinds of toxins are lurking in the products that you're using and what kinds of problems they can cause and how to avoid them easily. You're gonna be able to create some natural remedies for your family to keep you and your family healthy, and you're gonna help get some things that are gonna help you keep things less stressful and more peaceful in your home. And you are gonna find out about a lot of things that are really big helpers for new mamas and, like me. If you're not a mama, if you have kids or not, this is gonna be a help for you. It's also gonna be a one-stop shop to avoid toxic chemicals in your home and protect your family from them. And as I said, to naturally solve some problems that you are having. So get out some pen and paper, make sure you watch each video, and if you want to provide some feedback, you can message me directly or the person who sent you, or you can comment in the chat, but we want to keep kind of the chat comments to a minimum because there's a lot of people in here. I think there's like almost 250 people or something in here, so it could get pretty chatty quickly if everyone commented in here. So super appreciate your patience, and I'm so excited that you're here to learn, and I am thrilled really to share this information with you. It is going to blow your mind. Thanks.